Guys, we live busy lives, and one of the best ways to save time is to have all your gear organized. Now, we need organization, whether it's on an everyday basis or definitely in an SHTF or just being prepared. Of having your items around where you can get to them, where you know where they are. I spend a lot of time looking for different items. It's great when I'm working on something that I have everything right there together. And one of the big things that I've found that really helps me to get organized are tool rolls. You roll them out, everything's right there in front of you. I mean, it's just a great way to get organized for a lot of different things. We're going to take a look at the Pack Mule by Roaring Fire Gear. We've looked at it before. But I've lately been doing some things, and honestly I have it typically up here on my wall. Know where it is. It looks great. It's that heavy duck canvas, and I get a lot of questions about it. So we're going to show a few setups of how you can get organized, hopefully to give you some ideas. But honestly, I came across a tool roll one time at Home Depot. It was just sitting there, and I thought, man, that might be a great way to get organized. And ever since, I've been a big fan of tool rolls. There's a number of different types, sizes. But Roaring Fire Gear has a lot of different types that can suit about anything that you're planning to do. So first we're going to look at just some standard tools, and this is just a setup that I was working on. Guys, we're going to take all these tools and we're going to place them into the Pack Mule. As you can see, you're trying to find something. I mean, it is all over the place. You got to dig around, you stick yourself in the hand. I mean, this is, basically what I do when I'm going through a toolbox. Now, this is just a container, but this is some heavy tools, and this really fits well in the Pack Mule. So let's see if we can get all this in the Pack Mule. Now, this is a sturdy pack. Again, it's just a 16 ANN canvas, water resistant, and it's not waterproof, but it definitely keeps the elements out. Stitched really nice. Adjustable straps, you can see, with keepers, so it keeps those straps handy. We have some buckles here. We have a hand grip right here that's padded. It's very comfortable because you can really fill this thing up. And we have a strap, and it has buckles that actually turn. This thing's full. And we took all those items that we were showing and we have loaded them into here. So we're going to go ahead and unbuckle it, and then it just kind of folds out. Now you'll notice this flap right here, and this just keeps things protected, keeps them covered. And so first we have two zippers, and we can just bring those over. These are YKK zippers. They're the top in the industry. Here's your flap, open it up. We've just got a ton of tools. I mean, you can load this thing however you want to. A lot of the pliers we have put down in here, these are ample pockets. They're not too big where everything's flopping around, but you can test those out. But we just have a number of different tools. We have this elastic, and I think there are 13 loops here. We have 8 pockets at the bottom. And then we have a zippered pocket right here. And this just opens up, again, YKK zippers. I've just got one of these sets of Torx, and this is just great for different things. We've kind of gone away from the standard Phillips head and flat head. And one thing I like, too, is the color combination. This is a contrasting color, so I can see what I have in here. And obviously, I can pack this a heck of a lot more than I have. And really, those straps are adjustable to fit a lot more. But sometimes you just can do overkill. But this is the first side, and it's just right here. Everything just kind of pulls out. The elastic straps, they're easy to be able to adjust to whatever kind of tool or whatever you're doing. And so we're going to go ahead and put that back over it, and then we can zip it up. And it just keeps it contained, and it protects it. So anything you've got in here, it's not going to open up and just fall out. Now we're going to turn it over. And this side is unique. And of course, we have our YKK zippers. They're double, so we can adjust them and not have to search for them. And again, we've got that flap. Now this side has 4 pockets. And these are zippered pockets. The cool thing is these are removable. So if there's something in here and I don't want to haul the pack off, or I've already got it laid out and I don't want to have to reassemble it, I can just pull one of these pouches off. Now you can see I don't have these things slam full, but I could. I mean, it gives you a lot of room to be able to pack these things out. But in here, just have a set of wrenches. They fit really nice. And then here we've got a pretty large, this is a 10-inch wrench, and it fits in here with room to spare. And then some smaller wrenches. And again, all we got to do is pull it off. Now it takes a little bit of strength to pull that off, but that's going to hold it into place. And so here I can just take these wrenches. If I need to do something, I can get to it. and then it just goes right back, and it's real easy to line up. Here, we just have some files. And I just put an assortment of files in here if I need to do whatever kind of detailed work. It'll take a lot longer, bigger files, but this is just what I had for this setup. Now these two are closed in. These are canvas. Again, they have that different color to them. But the inside of these, again, you've got that contrasting color, so you can see the items that are down inside. Here we have a little bit of a translucent kind of mesh material. It gives you an idea to see through here, but it also keeps this somewhat water resistant on the side. Now, YKK zippers again, and that's all throughout. And we have hammers. We've got some pretty decent sized hammers. In fact, I've got 3 in here. Now, we don't have the standard hammers. I mean, these are more ball peen type hammers, but we could put other smaller hammers in here. And obviously, this is actually about 12 inches. And then it's 4 inches across. And it puffs up to a lot of volume. So there's a lot of things you could put in here. And again, you don't have to just separate just to the hammers, but you know where they are. I keep everything organized. That's one of the big things I love, is I can just open this up and get to what I need to. And then, again, these will just pull right off. And then here on the other side, I've got a bunch of punches. I've got a micrometer. I've just got a lot of different tools to be able to use for various things, and you know, some really nice punches actually. But this is just a great way to keep smaller items that won't fit in the front organized, and you know where everything is. And again, because this is removable, it's just very simple. So again, we can cover that up and we can protect it. And then let's just go ahead and fold it up. So we want to put it on one side like this. Take it, just fold it over once, fold it over again. Now we can take our straps, and they are, again, fully adjustable straps. And so we're going to lift it up and just bring it over. Just lock that in. I want to make sure that I have them in the correct orientation. And guys, once you get this set up, you can tighten these straps down to fit whatever you want to. Really comfortable grab handle. Strap's thin, but this is something you're just going to be transporting for a little while. I mean, it's not something that you're necessarily going to carry over a long period of time. This is great to go into the back of your vehicle or to go just on the back of a truck bed, and you can just lay everything out and you can get to your items. Now in this setup, I have more of a get-home bag. I mean, this gives you a lot of survival items. This is a survival kit. Again, we're going to go ahead and drop our buckles and lay it out. Now this is, again, when it opens up, you're going to have the elastic bands, you're going to have the pockets across. On the back is where you have your pouches. So we'll go ahead and open up our zippers. I'm going to bring this up. Let's turn this around so you can get a better look at it. And guys, we're going to go through a lot of these. We didn't with the tools because tools are tools, but this is a little bit of a different type setup. First off, one of the big things for me is fire. And so I like to have a fire kit. I like to have a designated fire kit. But you'll notice that we have a number of fire tools right here together. And we also have some tinder on this side. So first we just have one of the match caps, XLs. I love these because I can keep lifeboat matches in there, and it's just sealed up. It has a striker at the bottom. So this just makes an excellent option. This is from Exotac. I'm a big fan of Exotac because they just make great fire tools. And then we have one of the Fire Rod XLs. This is a ferrocerium rod, and it will give you a ton of strikes. And that's one of the things I like about a fire steel is I can just go ahead and make sparks. Not like matches, which are sooner or later going to run out. I mean, you'd have a big box of matches to match this one fire steel. And then we have just a standard Bic lighter, the most convenient way to start a fire. But I'll tell you guys, if something will go out, it'll be a Bic lighter. Either the fuel will go out or this will get corroded where it won't turn. Even if the fuel goes out, you do have some striking capability where you can create a spark. So don't throw those away if you run out of fuel and you have it in your pack, but keep track of it. And let's see, we've got this. This is actually another, I meant to put one of the butane lighters, but it's the same size and it's the same thing as this one. And then here we have just a knife, and this is a Benchmade. Now I'm kind of upset with Benchmade right now, but this is their triage. It's great for survival. It's great for medical. And then we have some fire tinder, and this is just some impregnated wood that actually lights really easily. And I can actually break this up just like I'm batoning, but very micro batoning. And really, guys, you need some tinder when it comes to your fire starting capability. One of the things about this XL fire rod is we have tinder tabs in the top. And we have some duct tape around the side. So this just gives us a lot of different options. And again, these are made really well. You can get the smaller version if that's what you want. Griffin tool, this just gives me a lot of options for a multi-tool pry bar. We've got nut drivers, we've got bottle opener, and we have a little ruler. So this just gives us a number of different things, and the guys over at Griffin Tool are just great guys. And then we have just a razor. And I think this is one that I got from Obai, but it's just a little small razor, and you can change that out. And sometimes razors are more important than a knife, and sometimes obviously a knife, it has certain tasks. Now here we have an emergency whistle with a small compass. And guys, always test your compasses and make sure that they are on. And you should have actually a couple of different compasses. You want to make sure you can confirm the direction. You don't want to doubt it. But this is a really nice whistle with a compass, and it's just small. This is another little pry bar with a nut driver, and this has the Phillips head and the flat head. And so I like that because it gives me an option if I come across something I need to, unbolt. Here I just have some water purification tabs. Now this is a last resort because really I have one of the Frontier filter straws right here that I can get directly into the water. It removes the taste, it removes the sediment, and that's one of the things that this does not do. It'll purify your water, but it'll still have sediment and it'll have an odor a lot of times. So I really like to have some kind of actual water filtration system, and these little Frontier Pros are so small and they're easy to pack. And I like the standard straws as well. Then we have just a flashlight. We need flashlight, you need light. Light is your number one security tool. I can actually use this as an impact tool or a defensive weapon. Crenulated bezel, and this is one of the Warrior 3s. It's an excellent light. It puts out a heck of a lot of light, and it is rechargeable. And you can add actually CR123s, or you can have a battery backup if you want to recharge your lights. Here I have a knife sharpener. This is one of the Work Sharp sharpeners. I have the full-size version of this. These are excellent. You can get an edge. It has a diamond pad right here, and then we have a ceramic, and this makes it great to be able to sharpen knives. And since I've already got the bigger size that's actually table mounted, I know how to use this. It's very simple. In fact, this little edge right here will set your angle. So when you go down, you're already at that angle, and you're not trying to guess at it. Also, we have a couple of pens. I have a Fisher Space Pen. We have a Write in the Rain pad in the back, but Fisher Space Pen, these things are great. They'll write in any orientation. And then we have a Sharpie. I love Sharpies. And also in here, I have another light, and this is just a small pocket light. One of the things a good friend of mine that's in law enforcement said is that when I ever have a light, it typically, when I need it, it goes out. And so he always keeps 3 or 4 lights with him. And so that's just great advice. Here we have a multi-tool, and this is one of the Gerbers. This is a suspension NXT, and there are times where pliers are vital. And then, of course, you have all your other tools here as well. And that just fits right in here. It has a pocket clip, so it actually slides down in here. Now we have zip ties. Guys, there's a bazillion uses for zip ties. This goes kind of with my repair kit, which I'll show you in the back of the pack. So this is the Strong Arm, and this is by Gerber as well. This is a really excellent knife. And these are made in the USA. They're just really good quality. I have used the fire out of this knife. And it comes with a really nice sheath. So I can take this out, put it on my belt, and I have a fixed blade knife handy. And then here, the ever-present Silky Saw. And this is one of the smallest that they make. But guys, if you're cutting any kind of limbs or small trees, this is one of the best ways to do it, and it's actually safer than an axe. And honestly, I think it's faster. And so it has a little safety there, and it just closes down. Guys, silky saws are big. I mean, they're one of the tools that I have in everything. And I actually learned about silky saws at a Fieldcraft survival school. And Lieutenant Mike gave me one of these to try, and ever since then I've been hooked on these. Now this is the pouch, and this is the one that's attached. It's a little bit larger than the ones at the back. Here I have a trauma kit. I have hemostatic agent, I have a tourniquet, I have compression gauze, I also have an emergency space blanket, but this is one of those disposable types. And so this is my trauma kit. It's right here when I open it up. And then again, we can just close the flap and this is protected. Then we're gonna flip it over. Okay, here we go with the pouches. And this is a great way to just put a lot of gear and really make some kits put together. So I like that. And again, these are removable like we've shown. We just YKK zippers. This is my repair kit. I have some tripwire, I have some paracord, and then I have a fire starter. Fire, guys, I'm telling you, it boils your water, cooks your food, gives you light, gives you heat. It builds your morale, it keeps predators at bay. Fire is essential. Here we have some bank line, and it's on a small little spool, and it even has a cutting edge on here. So that's a very versatile tool. Even though this isn't for repair, I have a small fishing kit, and there is a bobber in there with hooks, sinker, line, and this is just a great little tool. Maybe you need to eat, and this gives you a way to do that. Here we have some Kevlar, and this is thread, and we have a couple of buttons, and so this is going to be great for the repair kit as well. Then I have one of the rip spools, and this is by Exotac as well. And I've got this thing taped up, but this is a great way to be able to open this up. It's got duct tape all the way through, and then we have a sail needle, and we can do repairs, and it does have Kevlar thread, and I've got it taped because I've used this in the past. The Kevlar thread has just come loose over time with the small strands, so I just go ahead and keep that taped up, and if I need it, I can just pull it out. And I have one of the cock seals. This opens up a lot of different water valves, gas, turns off gas. A lot of times in the cities, if you'll see a faucet and it doesn't have a handle, but it has a really unusual key, these typically fit. 4 different type fixtures, and so these are excellent, especially in urban survival. And that is my repair kit. Here we have just some larger tools. First off, we have a folding knife, and this is really a zero tolerance. It's an excellent knife, and I just have that in there with my fixed blade knife, which is an Essie, and this is the Essie 4. It has been very well used, and I really love Essies. They are super sharp, they retain an edge, and so I got one of the Kydex holsters for it, and I can just clip it to my belt. Fixed blade knife is very important, especially full tang, and that's with the metal coming all the way through and through the end of the blade. And then I have a Write in the Rain pad, and I've got my Fisher Space Pen to be able to write on this. And sometimes, guys, you need to take notes, you need to do something to remember things, and so this just gives you a way to do it. And then I just have another flashlight. This is the Sidewinder by Streamlight. And so this gives me a number of different light options, red and IR. It gives you a lot of different choices to be able to get that light where you want it. And the dial is marked for each of the different type lights. But this gives you an angle head flashlight, and you can actually attach this to your pocket, to your vest, or whatever, and it gives you other options. And this is navigation and rescue. So here, first thing I have is a map. Guys, you need maps. Now this is a big map of the USA. I typically have more local maps for my general area. But whatever area you're traveling in, having a good map, if GPS goes out, and you're like me, it's kind of like when we learned math as a kid, and then they came out with calculators, and we forgot how to do math. And then I have a headlamp. Headlamps are very important, especially hands-free, and you can put this on, and then if I need to, I can also take this light off and use it, and it is an angle head flashlight. And these are from Olight, and guys, they're just excellent. And then I also have some batteries in here. I can recharge this. It has a rechargeable battery, but the CR123s will work. This is a Sootch compass, and I have a mirror. This is a signaling mirror with the hole in the middle, so I can signal craft or whatever from a distant ridge. I can, if there are rescuers around, I can use that. Also, I have tent stakes. Now, you say for rescue, why do you have tent stakes? I can set up some kind of shelter, and I do have my emergency space bivvy or emergency blanket. And so I can wrap up in this, or I can set this up. I can make it as a shelter. But really my favorite is the Space Bivy, but it's a little bit larger. And then I have a bandana. Bandanas are great for keeping smoke out of your face, different debris. You can just use it for so many different purposes. This is one of those survival items that's just so multi-purpose, and I highly recommend having a bandana. And I think that's about it in the rescue and just actual survival pouch. Then here on the end, this is more of just, it has medical in it, but it's more like a boo-boo kit, and this is one of the AMP3s. It's just an emergency personal injury kit, and so that gives me some options, and I have a triangle bandage in case I hurt an arm or sprain my ankle or whatever. I can wrap up with this. I have one of those, the little towelettes. You just add water and this thing just folds out and gives you a full towel, but it keeps it really compact. Have some Advil, chapstick, and I have some camp soap. So these are little sheets, and if I need to wipe down, guys, hygiene is very important, especially if you're out in the wild, and you can keep your hands and your face clean with these little towelettes. Also have a small mirror in case I need to look to see if I have an injury or something, especially on my face or around my neck. And so this just gives me the option to do that. I can use my signaling mirror, but I like to have this just in there just for extra redundancy. And then I have a spork, and this is the K-bar spork, which actually you can open this up and pull out a blade. So if I'm preparing food, I can use this. Of course, I have my knife, but it may be dirty, it may be contaminated, and this just gives me a small little knife, and obviously I could use that if I needed to for self-defense. Or for that matter, this spork. I mean, this is a very strong material, and that's it. This is a lot of gear, and it's all contained in this pack. Guys, if you have it in a big box like we've shown, I mean, it's just everywhere. And so this just keeps everything organized. Again, you can transport this really easily, and it's in one solid pack. And so this makes just a great option. And guys, there's so many other things you can do with a car kit. You can do for an emergency repair kit. You could put a complete fire kit or medical kit in this, and it would work. So it gives you a lot of organizational options. And so there are a number of things you can do. One thing also you could do if you're into crafts or hobbies or something like that, and you want something to be able to organize different items. I mean, let's face it, guys, we all have different things we like to do, and so this just gives us a great way to pack it out. Now, these run $75.99 at Roaring Fire, and it's just a solid pack. You do get 10% off using RF10. These are one of their most popular items, and because of that, they have just gotten restocked. So if you're thinking about it, you might want to run over there and pick up something. That discount doesn't run during sales, but then you get a deeper discount or you get a discount. And so great item. These are shipped free in the continental US, and they have a lifetime warranty, which I think is crazy. But I mean, these are just solid packs. I've been using this one for a long time, and I've had a number of different setups that I use. It just really comes in handy. And again, there's a number of other different tool rolls on there. I highly recommend you check them out. In fact, my favorite is the Pioneer wax canvas tool roll. That is just a beautiful classic tool roll, and it's smaller for more of your fire kits or just a small survival kit or just a small tool kit. And obviously these are tool rolls, they're made for tools, but these are tools for survival. And then of course we showed the regular tools as well. So great option, and this gets you organized. Guys, being organized is great, but being able just to roll out everything and just look at it and it's right there in front of you, you can pick and choose what you need. You just put it back, it has its place. It's really refreshing, honestly. And guys, as preppers, a lot of times we do store up some items and then we try to categorize it, but it just makes it difficult. Having a tool roll keeps everything right there together. It's portable, it's handy, and again, if I need it, just grab it and I'm going. So tool rolls, big fan, and I hope that I've shown you some things that just give you some ideas. Now, we really appreciate Roaring Fire gear. Honestly, I've had this pack Mule for a good while, and it's just an excellent way to pack a lot of things. And then again, if you need smaller ones, you know, they have smaller, different type tool rolls. But it's just a great way to get those smaller kits together, or for big projects, just gives you a lot of room. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. God bless America. America. I mean, it cooks your water. I mean, and I've got my spacer, okay, that I highly recommend. And Roaring Fire does it, or you can get a good workout with this thing. But that's what the shoulder strap's for.